Part 67. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 663. A nobody has completed the most difficult comprehension twice before him. What does this mean? He has never encountered such a problem since he was born. Few people can get in touch with his world because his world is too high-end, but at this time, someone walked ahead of him. Xiao Chen, why are you in such a bad mood? Princess Shenjiao asked with concern. This person is the one who comprehended the tomb of the servant before me. His realm is only about the 4th level of the heavenly source realm, Zhang Fanchen said angrily. This is strange. How can such a realm have such comprehension ability? It is unreasonable. It means that this person actually has good fortune, but his realm is too low, Princess Shenjiao thought. Zhang Fanchen is waiting. When the vortex appears, he will know where the person is. Actually, this is a good thing. Compared with letting other people in the central totem world get it, if this person gets it, we still have hope. You have taken his things once. Now taking it a second time is not easy, Princess Shenjiao smiled. Sister, it's not me who took his things, but he took my things, Zhang Fanchen said very seriously. Yes, my dear brother is right. Just wait, the vortex will appear soon, Princess Shenjiao said gently, and her eyes were full of emotion when she looked at her brother. Under the attention of the crowd, the vortex appeared, and Zhang Zizai's position was also locked. Here. Get out of the way. For a while, many people rushed here. Of course, only the strongest could drive everyone away in the crowd and come to the position closest to Zhang Zizai. Of course, there are also people who don't need to be driven away at all, because they are majestic in themselves, and no one dares to approach them, so he came to Zhang Zizai with ease. After the last meeting, Zhang Zizai met this person again, but this time, he was also accompanied by Li Zixiao, Zhuguya and Zhang Yaoken. Their eyes collided instantly. The conflict between the Hidden Dragon Realm and the Holy Emperor Totem World is well known. The two sides suddenly encountered each other and became the protagonists, while the other dozen people from the Central Totem World who came here could only become supporting roles, including Yi Wangsheng from the Blood Prison Totem World. Zhang Fanchen did not expect to meet them here. Seeing Li Zixiao standing next to Zhang Zizai, he could not help but say, "You people from the Hidden Dragon Realm are quite fast and directly controlled the person, but do you want to get the gift of the ancient gods just like this? Is there something wrong with the eyes of the little Holy Emperor? Zhang Zizai is our younger brother, from our Hidden Dragon Totem World. I brought him to the well of the divine domain." Zhang Yaoken opened his mouth and immediately caused a commotion. There were still many people present who did not know the origin of Zhang Zizai. Zhang Zizai was a little emotional. In a place like the ancient demon tomb, you still need a backer. If you don't have a backer, what's the point of comprehending the demon tomb? You are still at the mercy of others. Fortunately, there are Li Zixiao and others. After hearing Zhang Yaoken's words, Zhang Fanchen and Zhang Fangzhen were silent for a while. They could probably feel that Zhang Zizai was the owner of a dragon totem, and such a special dragon totem owner could only come from the world of hidden dragon totems. It was a pity that he had not thought of it before. Why, you took my brother's things once before when we were away, and now you want to do it again. The little Saint Emperor is not as good as my brother in comprehension ability, but he actually did such a despicable thing, which is really eye-opening. There are still many things to see in the tomb of the lowly servant. Little Saint Emperor, don't try to cheat. My brother is smart and recorded your ugly deeds with the image symbol. Zhang Yaoken sneered again. He was more familiar with this kind of words, because Li Zixiao disdained to say these. Hearing this, people looked at each other. This seemed a bit unbelievable, but if they actually had the image symbol record, then it was a stone hammer. It's not that it's wrong to do this, anyone can do it, but the little Saint Emperor, who cares most about his status, was so angry after failing that he snatched other people's gains. It can only be said that he was a bit out of character. If you have the ability to comprehend, but not the ability to possess, you shouldn't have it in the first place, so how can you say it's ugly? Trash is trash, Princess Shenjiao said when she saw her brother was very unhappy. The trash you mentioned has comprehended something that you can't comprehend even if you try your best, Li Zixiao sneered. At this time, treasures began to fall in the vortex. Everyone's eyes were here. There was silence for a while, but Li Zixiao and others had made their attitude clear. Li Zixiao said, "Whoever dares to mess around today and rob will become a mortal enemy of my Kanglong realm. Fair competition, if you want to fight, there will be plenty of opportunities later." Seeing his attitude, everyone knew that it would be difficult to deal with it. After all, everyone had some gains, so there was no need to rob. And it was not certain how it would develop in the future. It was just that Zhang Fanchen was too eager. After all, he had boasted before. The first treasure that appeared in the vortex was actually a small black ball with blood-colored patterns on it. Zhang Zizai took a closer look and found that the words on it were God-killing. 3 small balls, God-killing, God-slaying, and God-killing? These 3 kinds of divine weapons can be transformed into various weapons, and there must be a connection between them. This God-killing is absolutely complete, and it should be similar to the previous God-slaying. It seems that the tomb of the lowly servant and this place are indeed at the same level. He was quick this time and put the God-killing directly into the space jade pendant. Zhang Fanchen had no choice but to rob it as he did last time, and his face was very ugly. However, it was Zhang Zizai who really wanted revenge, and he still remembered clearly what he had lost. The second thing was indeed a small red cauldron. Many people had never seen it before because the others were all black, so when the red cauldron appeared, many people exclaimed. Zhang Zizai put it away as usual. Next is the third thing, a broken picture that is about 15 times the size of an ordinary broken picture. One picture is worth 15 demon tombs. 3 things descended and the vortex disappeared. During the whole process, no one moved. After finishing it, Zhang Zizai raised his head and looked at Zhang Fanchen. In the midst of everyone's attention, he suddenly smiled. "My things will be kept with you for a period of time. When I get them back from you, I will definitely get some interest back. Your hands are a bit cheap. I will take it away next time to let you understand who it does not belong to. You can take anything away at will. I have something to go out for today, so I will update 2 chapters first, and there will be another 2 chapters at 2200 hours in the evening." Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 664. In the entire well of the divine domain, Zhang Fanchen is a figure who is high above and like a legend. No matter where he is an existence that people look up to. The entire well of the divine domain has his legend. But at this moment, when Zhang Zizai said this, it was like thunder from the blue sky, shocking many people. If this sentence was said by Li Zixiao, it would be understandable, but it happened to be a nobody like Zhang Zizai. If he hadn't comprehended the tomb of the ancient demon Tongtian today, how could anyone know him? Almost tens of thousands of people looked at him with strange eyes. In these strange eyes, in addition to feeling irritated, there was more pity and ridicule, because most people were familiar with Zhang Fanchen's temper. Relying on the fact that he comes from the hidden dragon totem world and has the protection of Li Zixiao, does he really think that he can do whatever he wants? Too naive, isn't he? How dare he say such a thing? He looks quite old, older than the little Saint Emperor, and no longer a newborn calf who is not afraid of tigers. At this age, he still doesn't have any brains. Now, there's a good show to watch. Tisk tisk, if you can watch the fun, why not? Even if there are casualties, it means that there are fewer competitors. Now people are basically watching the little Saint Emperor's attitude after Zhang Zizai said this. It can be seen that the little Saint Emperor was also a little speechless. After hearing this, Princess Shenjiao's eyes showed extreme disgust, and she said, "You have no ability, but you dare to say such things. You can only make people look down on you by talking like this. Why are there so many low-level people now? They are like flies, so annoying." Yes. Princess Shenjiao is right, her words caused a lot of booing. After all, most people were jealous of Zhang Zizai for actually comprehending the tomb of the ancient demon Tongtian that everyone wanted. Sister, you should have gotten used to it a long time ago. After all, these flies were brought in by that blind headless fly. It's normal to feel a little disgusted. Zhang Fanchen didn't get angry, but smiled dumbly and shrugged his shoulders. But those who knew him knew that he was just suppressing his anger back into his stomach. The two sides confronted each other, and the smell of gunpowder was full. After Zhang Fanchen finished speaking, there were more people laughing, which created the illusion that he had won in this conversation. Seeing Zhang Yaokan and others with gloomy faces, Zhang Fanchen couldn't help laughing again. "Sooner or later, I will make all of you blind," Zhang Fanchen sneered. He was jealous of the other red tripod. Why wait for one day? If you want to fight, you can do it now. Unless you admit your weakness, Li Zixiao suddenly spoke. After being called a blind headless fly, he was silent for a moment, but the anger in his heart had already burned. When he was talking, Shen Xiao and Ling Xian just came back from outside, and since then, all 9 of them have gathered here. When Zhang Zizai saw them, he hurried to greet them. After a closer look, he found that they had made great progress in the past half a month. It's the other 2 women. Each of them has comprehended a lot of Demon Tomb. These 2 people are similar to Zhang Zizai. They are crazy about comprehending Demon Tomb. It is said that the 2 of them have solved a lot. It was said that these 2 people were powerful before, and they were also protected by the people in the hidden dragon totem world. I didn't expect there was also this Zhang Zizai. The realms of these 3 people are very low. Why do they have such a strong comprehension? This is a question in the hearts of many people. Looks like a rich harvest. Zhang Zizai raised his eyebrows and looked at the 2 of them. Better than you. Who asked you to pick the most difficult ones? We'll pick the easiest ones, just compete in quantity. Shen Xiao naturally knew his situation. How many? We both comprehended 4 demon tombs, plus 1 of the 10 demon tombs before, a total of 5. Shen Xiao said proudly. It seems that she is very satisfied with her results. Thinking carefully, it is indeed quite abnormal, because there are a total of 100, and the 2 sisters occupy almost 1/10, so how can the others survive? Did you also break through in realm? Zhang Zizai asked. Their Tianyuan is obviously more profound than before. Their realm is originally lower than Zhang Zizai, and their Tianyuan is also lower than Zhang Zizai. It is normal for them to comprehend several demon tombs in succession in the Teiku demon tomb. Generally speaking, it will be more difficult to make further progress to the 7th or 8th level of Tianyuan realm. Even so, there are still some people who make progress in comprehending demon tombs at this realm. We have all reached the 4th level of Tianyuan realm. The 4 demon tombs, breaking through 2 levels of realms, are less efficient than Zhang Zizai's, but the 2 demon tombs that Zhang Zizai comprehended and their 4 demon tombs are not the same concept. In general, the realm breakthrough alone is the most amazing fortune for the 3 of them since they came in. In less than a month, the 3 of them broke through the 3rd level, which was unthinkable before. The 3 of them were incredible in the eyes of Li Zixiao and others, so they would take the initiative to protect the 3 of them without Li Zixiao saying much. Now, they also looked at the conversation of the 3 of them with incredible eyes. Their strength has caught up in such a short time. So, at least the overall combat power of our 9 dragon battle formation has been completely improved. If Zhang Zizai can be similar to us, then this whole will be more symmetrical, and as long as the 9 dragon battle formation is symmetrical, the lethality will be several levels stronger. They looked at each other and saw the shock and laughter in the eyes of others. They had to sigh that their luck was really good. The 9 people acted as if they were alone, which made the faces of the people in the Holy Emperor Totem world particularly gloomy. Just now they were still confronting each other, but suddenly they left their opponents aside, which clearly showed that they were not so afraid of the Saint Emperor Totem world. People were still watching the show. At this time, a group of blood-robed people walked to the side of the people in the Saint Emperor Totem world, led by Yi Wangsheng, and suddenly said to Zhang Fanchen, "Little Saint Emperor, have you heard about something about my brother Yi Kangsheng? I heard that he died." "Who did it?" Zhang Fanchen asked with narrowed eyes. He carefully recalled the name he heard at the beginning, and then locked on Zhang Zizai and said, "Oh, it's this person." "That's right," Yi Wangsheng said. "So, you have a blood feud with the Hidden Dragon Realm, and you are irreconcilable." Zhang Fanchen's eyes lit up. "I swear not to be a human being if I don't avenge this hatred," Yi Wangsheng sneered. For the fastest update, please bookmark this site to read the latest novels. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 665. Lu Hongyan, who was beside him, hugged his shoulders and looked at her man with heartache. Zhang Fanchen and Princess Shenjiao looked at each other. In fact, they had wanted to make a move a long time ago, but they were worried. After all, they had many competitors besides the Hidden Dragon Realm. There had been no real fighting in the ancient demon tomb until now. He started the battle first and was worried about consumption. The mantis stalked the cicada, and the oriole was behind, letting others take advantage. After all, he knew that Li Zixiao was not so easy to eat. But now it was different. They already had 2 9th-level Tianyuan Realm Masters, plus Yi Wangsheng, 3 9th-level Tianyuan Realm Masters, and it was no problem for them to crush Li Zixiao. It was difficult for them to be consumed by Li Zixiao. There were a total of 50 people in the Holy Emperor Totem world and the Blood Prison Totem world, all of whom were above the 5th level of Tianyuan Realm. Their strength was almost doubled, and their number far exceeded that of the Hidden Dragon Totem world. In this way, it was completely different. Zhang Fanchen's eyes lit up, and he was sure of a crushing victory. "What do you want?" Zhang Fanchen asked. "I'll give you everything he got from the tomb of the ancient demon Tongtian, and give me everything else on him, including his life," Yi Wangsheng said. He was sure that Zhang Fanchen would agree to his conditions. Sure enough, Zhang Fanchen smiled and said, "No problem, the other 2 women look very lucky, they belong to me." He already knew that Shen Xiao and Ling Xian had comprehended a lot of treasures. Yi Wangsheng hesitated for a while but still agreed. After all, among the 3 people, Zhang Zizai seemed to have the most secrets. If he wanted to cooperate with Zhang Fanchen, he would definitely have to make some sacrifices. Princess Shenjiao had some opinions. "Sister, don't get me wrong. I want these 2 women, and I have absolutely no other ideas, I just want to get what they have." "Then what?" Princess Shenjiao asked, with a hint of jealousy. "Kill them," Zhang Fanchen asked. "That's about right," Princess Shenjiao said coquettishly. Her every frown and smile can be described as turning all living beings upside down. She is really very charming. The first beauty of the well of the divine domain is not covered. She looks similar to Zhang Fanchen, and they are siblings at first glance. They had already reached a deal at this time. After that, 50 people quickly gathered together, their faces grim, and they surrounded Zhang Zizai. In fact, when Yi Wangsheng met them, Zhang Zizai had guessed that this would happen. One for face and greed, the other for revenge, it was natural for them to come together easily. Their actions caused a lot of noise. They are actually going to fight. They are joining forces. In this case, the Hidden Dragon Realm will definitely be finished this time. Tisk tisk, What is this called? If you don't know your own strength and speak without thinking, you will easily be struck by lightning. People quickly retreated. Finally, there was a good show to watch. People naturally didn't want to intervene. The weaker others were, the better it would be for themselves. Sitting on the mountain and watching the tigers fight was a great pleasure in the world. The battlefield quickly took shape, and 50 super geniuses surrounded the 9 of them. They revealed that their eyes were tough and full of aggression. Li Zixiao, last time you competed with me, I ruined your eyes. This time you offended me again. If you overestimate your own abilities, it's not just your eyes. Today, I will let you know that our Saint Emperor Totem world is an existence that you can't afford to offend in the hidden dragon realm. Zhang Fanchen sneered. Why waste time talking to this person? If you dare to resist, just kill him. Yi Wangsheng licked his red lips. There were quite a few people in his blood prison Totem world, and there was also an 8th level existence in the heavenly source realm. With the addition of both sides, Zhang Zizai would have to withstand the siege of 5 people on their side. Cut off the tongue of this villain named Zhang Zizai first, so that he won't say annoying vulgar words. This kind of fly is the most annoying, Princess Shenjiao said in a delicate voice, completely without the moving look of calamity, with only disgust in her eyes. For a moment, life and death seemed to be completely in the hands of others. In the strong suppression, Zhang Fanchen couldn't help it, because he had a premonition that there might be new changes in the ancient demon tomb. In that case, let's see what's going on. Li Zixiao's face was indifferent. He was too lazy to say anything harsh. He looked at everyone directly. Everyone knew what he meant. Since the situation was so extreme, let's use the 9-dragon battle formation. It was originally intended to be a trump card, but there are always some times in life that cannot be tolerated. Now that it has reached this point, others have oppressed them to the top of their heads, so why should they endure it? Them, people were stunned. Where did these 9 people get the courage? Under the suppression of the 2 totem worlds, they not only did not retreat or flee, but instead did not retreat and directly attacked the 50 people. This is more than just audacious. Haha. Faced with the fearless behavior of these 9 people, they could only sneer, and then they also took action directly. The 50 people and the 9 people rushed together directly at this moment. In the eyes of everyone, this was a battle of eggs against stones, which had no meaning at all. It was purely seeking death. Zhang Zizai was already very familiar with the 9 dragons battle formation. At the moment of the collision, with Li Zixiao as the leader, the 9 dragons soared into the sky in an instant. The 9 people stood in their own positions. At once, a large number of totem patterns began to spread around and entangled everyone's body. When Zhang Zizai and the others became stronger, the entire totem formation became more symmetrical, so the 9 dragons battle formation took shape faster. Countless dragon patterns quickly entangled everyone's body. Dragon patterns also spread from everyone's body and entangled others' bodies. Within the range of their bodies, countless dragon shadows were entangled in them. Roar. The sound of the dragon's roar directly shocked the whole audience, as if a 9-headed giant beast rushed into the battlefield. When they faced 50 opponents, they did not feel weak. Zhang Zizai didn't know what was going on with the others. Anyway, he felt that his power was about to explode. He could use the Tianyuan power of the other 8 people. The 9-dragon battle formation formed a cycle, and even the ability to recover was connected together, resulting in them being able to regenerate despite huge consumption. Even if they used the 9-dragon god of war, they had continuous combat capabilities. They could even separate, because others simply couldn't cut off the dragon pattern of the 9-dragon battle formation. Zhang Zizai was surrounded by several people at this time. These people were all from the blood prison totem world. They didn't know what the 9-dragon battle formation was, so they attacked in groups. Zhang Zizai was their primary target. Whoever could capture him would naturally get a lot of benefits. The god of slaughter appeared in Zhang Zizai's hand, and the god of slaughter turned into a boxing glove, and he punched out with an eternal god fist. Boom! 5 super geniuses, all above the 6th level of the Tianyuan realm, were actually blown away at this time and rolled several times in the sky. What 5 against 1? It doesn't exist. At any single point, they have to deal with Zhang Zizai and 9 people at the same time. There are still 2 chapters to go at 2200 hours. I was a little dizzy today and couldn't write 6 chapters, so I can guarantee 6 chapters tomorrow. If it's delayed again, I will punish myself with 1 chapter for every day of delay. In other words, if I don't have 6 chapters tomorrow, I will have 7 chapters the day after tomorrow. If I don't have 7 chapters the day after tomorrow, I will have 8 chapters the day after tomorrow. This is to urge myself. Thank you all. For the fastest update, please bookmark this site to read the latest novels. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 666. The positions of Zhang Zizai, Shen Xiao, and Ling Xian were the weak points of the Kowloon battle formation, so Li Zixiao arranged for the strongest members of the team to be by their side. Li Zixiao and Zhang Zizai were in the same team before, but this time the battle has been changed. Li Zixiao went to Sheng Xiao's side, and Zhang Yaokan moved to Zhang Zizai's side. The reason for this is that during the beginning of the battle, Zhang Zizai directly knocked back several 6th level Tianyuan realms with the power of 1 punch. Li Zixiao did not need to worry about this level of combat power. You know, Zhang Zizai didn't use too many other people's power in this process. This effect directly caused tens of thousands of people in the entire scene to make a noise. He took the fastest shot and rushed to the front. At this time, the others were not surrounded yet. Boom! When I saw those people soaring into the sky and falling hard to the ground, a wave of exclamation swept over me. Is this Zhang Zizai? He is not around the 4th level of Tianyuan realm. What kind of strength is this? How many levels does it cross? His totem is also a universe-level totem. Many people noticed the power of Zhang Zizai's punch. They noticed even more that at this time, Zhang Zizai rushed forward and caught up with the person he had repelled. The glove in his hand directly transformed into a long sword. The long sword was instantly wrapped with countless black thunderbolts. Thick thunderbolts' power fell from the sky, transformed into thunder sword energy, and struck those people with a bang. Ah! Those men in blood robes were instantly electrocuted into charcoal, and they fell to the ground screaming in agony. Looking at their charred skin, it was clear that they had no fighting power at all for at least 3 days, and had been completely crushed by Zhang Zizai. Cool. Zhang Zizai actually likes this 9 dragons battle formation very much. It feels great to use other people's Tianyuan power. Every time he starts, he focuses on destroying Tianyuan. Li Zixiao's Tianhong Tianyuan, Duguyes Xuanhuan Tianyuan, Zhang Yaokan's Starry Sky. The power of Tianyuan merged and mixed with the destruction of Tianyuan. The lethality exploded was quite terrifying. Now Zhang Zizai felt that he had the power to fight against the 8th level of Tianyuan realm. It's so scary. Why is he so strong? People's jaws dropped with fright, and they all looked at each other, unable to think of a reason. They have no information about this person at all. In fact, if a genius comparable to those 6 people appeared in the world of Hidden Dragon Totem, the information would have been released a long time ago. But they didn't expect that this was just the beginning. Next, Su Mo, Su Susu and Xiao Yao, who were at the 7th level of Tianyuan realm, all showed combat prowess comparable to the 8th level of Tianyuan realm. Even Ling Xian and Shen Xiao were able to use the power of Tianyuan from others. At least comparable to a strong person at the 7th level of Tianyuan realm. In this way, the combat power of the 9 of them is comparable to the super geniuses among tens of thousands of people. Although the 2 major totem worlds have a large number of people, basically few people can stop them. At least 3/4 of them are Tianyuan. Below the 6th level, even Zhang Zizai himself can challenge several at once, let alone others. Suemo, Sususu, and others directly killed everyone. Xiao Yao faced an 8th level Tianyuan realm, and the killing was inextricable. As for Duguye, Zhang Yaokan and Li Zixiao, they faced off against Princess Shenjiao, Yi Pangsheng, and Zhang Fanchen respectively. Originally, Duguye and Zhang Yaokan could not be the opponents of Princess Shenjiao and Yi Quansheng, but at this time, they were inextricably killed in a short period of time, and it was completely impossible to see that Princess Shenjiao and the two of them belonged to the Tianyuan realm. The 9th level of suppression. What is going on? How come the people of the Hidden Dragon realm suddenly become so tyrannical? This doesn't make sense at all. Look, everyone, they all seem to have dragon-shaped lines connected together, and there seems to be communication of heavenly power between them. It seems that everyone can use the power of others. What method is this and why is it so magical? It sounds like they don't know much about the Kowloon battle formation, so they feel that they are incredibly strong now. Under their suppression, the geniuses of the two totem worlds began to collapse from the bottom, and they collapsed quickly. Zhang Zizai directly killed everyone, knocking down at least a dozen of them. 5 of the 7th level Tianyuan realm came up, and they all confused him with their clones. Then they rushed to kill them quickly, and were defeated one by one in the blink of an eye. Each one was defeated by his the Wanjun world-shattering fist flew out and I couldn't get up for a long time. Although I know this is not my true fighting power, it is really refreshing. Zhang Zizai smiled. When Yi Quansheng and Zhang Fanchen have fewer and fewer minions, they themselves will not be able to defeat their opponents, and they will definitely be alone. Suddenly, he felt a cold threat, someone was sneaking up on him. Whoosh! He escaped a fatal injury with the magic of Earth Escape. When he looked back, it turned out to be Lu Hongyun from the Blood Prison Totem world. As long as I defeat one, I can break your totem array, right? Lu Hongyun stared at Zhang Zizai with red eyes. You try. Lu Hongyun turned into a blood shadow and attacked instantly. The blood shadow instantly divided into thousands. She actually had thousands of clones. It was impossible to tell whether they were true or false. Each clone seemed to have fatal lethality. People saw this and speculated that Lu Hongyun might be the breakthrough. If she couldn't defeat Zhang Zizai, then something very ridiculous might happen if this continues. That is the genius of the Blood Prison Totem world and the Saint Emperor Totem world. Besieging the world of Hidden Dragon Totem, they were all attacked. If word spreads, it will all be a big joke. At this moment, Zhang Zizai saw the countless blood shadows, but he closed his eyes and stayed where he was. The god of killing turned into a long sword in his hand, and the blood light surged. He felt the power from his brothers and sisters, and these powers were warm. Zhang Zizai gathered everyone's power together for the first time. Star. This is the second move of the Star God Sword Manual. Unlike the meteor is moving and falling like a storm, while the star is motionless. He stayed where he was, and the sword move looked very slow, but at the moment when the thousands of blood shadows killed him, suddenly, his god of killing burst out with an unprecedented world-destroying strong light. Star. What is amazing is that this strong light is actually black. The black light should not be visible, but it is so dazzling at this time. At this time, Zhang Zizai is like a black sun, shining on the entire battlefield in an instant. The surging black flames erupted from him and turned into countless sword energy. He is a black sun with thorns. The black sun was mysterious and eerie, but it was undeniable that it was actually scorching hot. At this moment, Lu Hongyun's countless blood shadows were like moths to a flame. She wanted to dodge but it was too late, because the expansion and shining of the star was like a bloody mouth that swallowed her directly. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 667. Boom. The star exploded, and the power of destruction shook out. A figure like charcoal fell to the ground. It was hard to imagine that this figure was still a charming beauty in an instant. Lu Hongyan was defeated directly. At this moment, Zhang Zizai, who was still shining like a black sun, was almost like a god. When people saw Lu Hongyan's defeat, they knew that Yi Wangshen's last breakthrough had disappeared. As expected, after Lu Hongyan was defeated, Yi Wangshen was in a state of confusion. He was one level higher than Zhang Yaoken, but was directly defeated by Zhang Yaoken and Shen Xiao, who joined forces at this time. People only then saw that this girl who was like a god of war was so fierce. She was wearing a holy dragon armor and rushed directly to Yi Wangshen. She withstood Yi Wangshen's attack. Zhang Yaoken found an opportunity on the side and pierced Yi Wangshen's lower abdomen with a sword. Puff! Yi Wangshen vomited blood and looked at Zhang Yaoken unwillingly, his eyes full of bloodshot. He struggled and said angrily, "Kang Glongja, you all have to die. I will kill your whole family." Sheng Xiao's holy emperor dragon spear rushed forward and pierced into his thigh with a click. Yi Wangshen screamed in pain because his thigh bone was directly pierced. "You," he stared at Shen Xiao. He didn't expect this unknown person to be so cruel. "What are you looking at? I heard that you still want to put my sister in a cage. If I don't pierce your head directly today, it will be counted as the good deeds of your ancestors. Kneel down and get out of here." In Sheng Xiao's dictionary, there is no such principle as forgive others when you can. She didn't kill him because she took into account the entire Kang Glongja as a whole. After all, if she killed someone, it would be easy to become the target of public criticism. Besides, Zhang Zizai had already killed the culprit, and Shen Xiao was very satisfied with his performance. Yi Wangshen and Lu Hongyan were seriously injured, and the geniuses of the other blood prison totem world had basically fallen. So far, the blood prison totem world can be said to have been completely annihilated. The remaining Holy Emperor totem world also suffered heavy losses. The only ones who could really hold on were Zhang Fanchen and Princess Shenjiao. However, when Zhang Yaoken and others joined the battlefield, it was their hidden dragon realm that was outnumbered. Zhang Fanchen, Princess Shenjiao and others were instantly in an extremely passive situation. Their faces were very ugly. The two looked at each other and knew that if they didn't stop fighting now, the losses would only be more severe. So they quickly used their escape methods to leave the battlefield and flee. Want to leave? This time, Li Zixiao and his team won the whole game, and they really didn't plan to let them go. Li Zixiao, you are really ruthless this time. I know you used the 9-dragon battle formation. You are really lucky that such a legendary thing can appear. But I know how to crack it. As long as I kill one of you, you will be useless. So, don't force me, Zhang Fanchen said grimly while retreating. 9-dragon battle formation, many people began to recall this name, but even so, basically few people knew it. Maybe people in the central totem world would know more. Take out the antidote, and I will spare you this time. Li Zixiao led the 8 of them to chase and kill directly, but Zhang Fanchen and the geniuses of the Saint Emperor Totem world actually took the initiative to block them for Zhang Fanchen, allowing Zhang Fanchen to leave the battlefield. You wish, I will never let you go. Wait until one of you dies, and I will make you pay the price, Zhang Fanchen said fiercely. He had no hope of taking Li Zixiao, but if he wanted to escape, he would still have no problem. After all, he had already left the battlefield. A siege turned into a chase. The 9 dragons battle formation amazed the audience as Li Zixiao expected, but he knew that there would be drawbacks. They were too strong now, so strong that it made others nervous. So many geniuses in the totem world looked unfriendly when watching them chase, and some even silently blocked the way for Zhang Fanchen and his men. Sitting on the mountain and watching the tigers fight is to see both sides lose, rather than one side suppressing the other. Everyone has their own little thoughts in their hearts. But for this opportunity, Li Zixiao still chose to seek justice. After all, Zhang Zizai's lost things have not been taken back. Li Zixiao, forget it. Yes, you have already won, so don't mess around anymore. The ancient gods in the sky are watching. Many people came out to be peacemakers. With these people blocking, it is even more difficult to catch up with Zhang Fanchen and Princess Shenjiao. When Li Zixiao was thinking, he didn't expect that at this time, a huge change happened again between heaven and earth. It is possible that because all the demon tombs have just been comprehended, the test of the ancient demon tomb seems to be about to enter the next stage. The reason for this speculation is that everyone felt that at this moment, the world began to shake, and many people were unstable. At this moment, a huge roar came from the sky. Everyone subconsciously looked up at the sky. Zhang Zizai hurriedly stopped and looked up at the sky with everyone. For some reason, he had a very dangerous feeling. At this moment, people saw it. There was a huge black shadow falling from the sky. Buzz. The sound of the black shadow breaking the wind was very loud. What is that? People shouted in surprise. Next, people saw clearly that it was a rectangular object. The material seemed to be bronze, very heavy and huge, like a mountain falling. That's a coffin. Zhang Zizai finally saw it clearly. That's right, what fell from the sky was a bronze coffin, which landed with a bang and was about to hit the ground. Ah, at this time, Yi Wangsheng screamed, because he was healing, his thigh was pierced, and he couldn't move at this time, but the bronze coffin fell at his position. At this juncture, he screamed and moved his body frantically, his face was as pale as paper. But he was still too slow. Boom! Just when people couldn't help but close their eyes, the huge bronze coffin fell on him. In an instant, the person disappeared. It was estimated that he had been crushed into a meat pie, or even worse. People were miserable because they saw the first person die in the game rules of the ancient demon tomb. But soon, they forgot about Yi Wangsheng, because the upright bronze coffin suddenly clicked, the coffin door opened automatically, and a burst of black air came out of it. At the same time, there was also suffocating fear. Zhang Zizai knew that the killing had begun. From the ancient demon tomb. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 668. At this moment, the demon coffin fell from the sky, and Yi Wangsheng suddenly died tragically. Such a scene cast a terrifying shadow on everyone's heart. The coffin in front of them had been opened, and in full view of the crowd, the coffin door began to collapse. The crowd made a noise and retreated one after another, and many people had cold sweat on their faces. When people looked at each other, they could see the worry and tension in other people's eyes. Before entering the ancient demon tomb, they had expected the danger here. It was just that after entering the comfortable period, they all forgot that the name of this place was called the ancient demon tomb. Before, there was only a tombstone, but now, the coffin has appeared, and the monstrous demonic energy has swept through. This demonic energy is a bit similar to the demonic energy that Zhang Ziyu felt from the black eyeball of Lu Dingxing in the evolutionary world. It seems that the eyeball is also related to the ancient demon. Otherwise, the Taishu Chaos Demon God Sutra would not appear. Run! At this moment, the coffin door fell to the ground with a bang. People dispersed and looked inside the coffin. They saw that the inside was full of black demonic energy. At this moment, a dark purple hand with bumps and broken scales pressed on the edge of the bronze coffin. The appearance of this dark purple hand made tens of thousands of people exclaim. Zhang Zizai narrowed his eyes. Huh! At this moment, he saw a huge body coming out of the coffin. There were countless demonic energy around him. For the time being, only his hands and feet could be seen, but it was undeniable that this was definitely a terrifying existence. In addition to the demonic energy, there was also a rotten smell. It was a kind of corpse gas. The corpse gas and demonic energy mixed together to create the horror of this giant that suddenly appeared. This is a corpse. Could it be a corpse created with the corpse of the ancient demon? This is too big a hand, Li Zixiao said in shock. Ancient demons are, after all, comparable to ancient gods. Even if the corpse was made at the right time, it was very scary for them, a group of Tianyuan realm. Ancient demon corpse. Many people saw this huge demon corpse that was 3 or 4 stories high, and their hands and feet began to tremble. People saw the pair of green eyes. He looked at everyone indifferently. His eyes were cold at first, and then burst into a surging strong light. That was extreme desire. Roar! The demon corpse roared, and then began to run wildly, chasing these villains in front of him. I am Xiao Zhantian. He roared and actually spoke. After that, there was no follow-up, which sounded very mechanical, as if it was some kind of obsession. Then, he roared again, roaring, I am Xiao Zhantian. Xiao Zhantian had died a long time ago. He was just a demon corpse from who knows how many years ago. Kill. His green eyes began to turn blood red, like 2 huge red lanterns in the dark. Although it was a demon corpse, his speed was still very scary. In a very short moment, he had already rushed into the crowd and stuck to the group of people who were evacuating the slowest. After catching up, the demon corpse slapped over, and after the monstrous demonic energy swept over, 7 or 8 people were directly swept up. The screams made almost everyone feel numb. Something even more terrifying happened. After being hit and flown by the demon corpse, the 7 or 8 people were entangled with a lot of demonic energy. They were directly entangled and surrounded by the demonic energy at this moment, and swallowed up instantly. They thought they could escape, but at this moment, the demonic energy entangled in their bodies suddenly shrank, and with a whoosh, the 7 or 8 people disappeared directly. It was as if they were swallowed by the demonic energy. Even the bones were gone. Swept up by a slap, they were entangled by the demonic energy, and then swallowed directly, without even the bones left. While people were shocked and stunned, the demon corpse hit the 5 people again, sweeping them up. The 5 people were swallowed by the demonic energy and disappeared in an instant, without even a scream. Are they dead? Everyone had such a question in their hearts. They had to think so. Anyway, no matter what, these people who were attacked and swallowed by the demon corpse should not appear again. Under this premise, these geniuses in the Tianyuan realm knew that they had to flee immediately. The demon corpse was like a lion entering a flock of sheep, and the sheep were scrambling and running for their lives. I am Xiao Zhantian. The demon corpse occasionally stopped, as if very unwilling, and shouted at the sky. Zhang Ziyi and the others had nothing to do for the time being, because the demon corpse was chasing them in the opposite direction, and they were not worried about their lives for the time being. Were those people killed? Suemo asked nervously. More than 90%. After all, there are too many people coming in now, and it's time to screen them, Li Zixiao said. If they have to select, they won't kill many people, right? Sususu asked. That's not necessarily true. As far as I know, every time the God realm selects, there is almost always bloodshed. Only the best can stand out. Tens of thousands of deaths and injuries are nothing to the God realm. They only want the best, Tuguye said. Then wouldn't we? Sususu became nervous. Don't worry, just be careful and don't get caught up. However, he claimed that his name is Xiao Zhantian. Does everyone remember this name? Li Zixiao asked. Of course they remembered. When we first entered the ancient demon tomb, the first demon tomb was the tomb of the ancient demon Xiao Zhantian. They happened to hide in the opposite direction, but everyone was walking in the opposite direction now, so the demon corpse turned back with red eyes and stared at the people here. In a short period of time, At least hundreds of people were entangled and swallowed by the demon energy, and their bodies were gone. Next, there will be more. This situation made the geniuses who are still in the ancient demon tomb feel the fatal threat of death. I believe that even Zhang Fanchen and others are not at ease at this time. At this time, the demon corpse is still rampant, and people are hit every moment, and a small number of them are directly slapped into meat patties by the demon corpse. Until this time, people completely believe that even if they are swallowed by the demon energy, they should be dead. This is too cruel. It's over now. The test of the ancient god is so life-threatening. If I had known, I would not have come in. The appearance of the demon corpse had caused a huge panic at this time. Many people were knocked down while fleeing, and then trampled to death by the huge demon corpse. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 669. If there is only one demon corpse, Xuanhuan, then we can still hold on, but once there are demon corpses in other demon tombs, then tens of thousands of us will be in danger. Xuanhuan was the first demon tomb to appear, and then there were 10 demon tombs, such as the tomb of Duguwazi that Zhang Zizai was comprehending. What they were worried about was whether there would be other demon corpses. If it corresponds to the demon tomb, there will be one demon corpse in each demon tomb. That would be truly terrifying. Xuanhuan, remember, it was the demon tomb that Zhang Fanchen comprehended, that was his tombstone. Boom boom boom. The demon corpse used its hands and feet, just like a group of ants, and it could kill many geniuses with a wave of its hand. In countless totem worlds, the geniuses who were regarded as top existences were just like paper in this demon corpse. Anyway, Zhang Zizai and the others did not dare to approach it at all. Faced with such a situation, they should have turned around and left, but this was the ancient demon tomb, and there must be opportunities in danger. Some people had confidence in themselves and only needed to keep a distance, but did not leave completely. Li Zixiao naturally did not leave. Zhang Zizai and the others were all observing. The current scene can be said to be extremely tragic. Get out of the way. At this moment, an incredible scene appeared. When everyone was running away, there was a person rushing towards the demon corpse Xuanhuan. That person was the little saint Emperor Zhang Fanchen. He was like a meteor, letting others get out of the way, but he himself appeared in front of the demon corpse. Roar! The demon corpse was furious, and its huge palm swept across and covered Zhang Fanchen's head, obviously wanting to smash Zhang Fanchen into pieces. In the spotlight, Zhang Fanchen was really not afraid of death. A black tripod suddenly appeared in his hand. He pointed the mouth of the black tripod at the demon corpse. Suddenly, a black light came out of the black tripod and instantly rushed into the body of the demon corpse. Buzz! The light entered the body, and the demon corpse suddenly stopped. The violent aura on its body completely dissipated, leaving only darkness, power, and mystery, and its eyes were full of changes and turned into a green color. People were silent, watching this scene. Zhang Fanchen, did you control the demon corpse with the black little tripod? Many people widened their eyes and guessed the reason for this scene. After guessing this, many people were infinitely envious. This demon corpse was so powerful, if you could control it, it would be unparalleled in the world. And what happened next was just as people guessed. Zhang Fanchen suddenly laughed, it was a very proud smile, and in the laughter, his voice became cold, get out of the way, otherwise if you are accidentally stepped on to death, it's not my fault. Hearing this, people looked at each other. Next, Zhang Fanchen patrolled around, he quickly locked the position of Li Zixiao and the others, and a cold smile immediately appeared on his face. Li Zixiao, you are dead this time. After saying this, he and the demon corpse moved at the same time. When he came towards Li Zixiao and the others, the demon corpse Xuanhuan followed him, even directly past him in a short time, ignored everyone else, completely locked Zhang Zizai and the others, and rushed over with a bang. Tens of thousands of geniuses in the totem world made a noisy sound again. It is completely certain that Zhang Fanchen controlled the demon corpse with the black small tripod. He had just asked Li Zixiao to suppress it before, and it was obvious that he wanted revenge at this time. It is obvious that the black small tripod can control the demon corpse. Li Zixiao and the other 9 people have a large number of black small tripods, especially Zhang Zizai also has the red small tripod of the ancient demon Tongtian tomb. Even if the little Saint Emperor has no grudges against them, he will probably attack them at this time. The 9 people in the hidden dragon realm are completely in danger. Possessing the demon corpse is undoubtedly taking the lead. When Zhang Fanchen took out the black small tripod, Li Zixiao had basically guessed it. When the demon corpse caught up with him, his face changed and he said directly, 9 dragon battle formation. The 9 dragon battle formation was used for fighting before, but this time it was purely for 9 people to escape together. This time, the 9 dragon battle formation was familiar with each other, and it was quickly formed. Everyone borrowed the power of the heavenly source from each other and used it on their body movements. The strong supported the weak, and everyone reached a very high level. The 9 people directly became one, like 9 dragons together, and flew away directly. One of the 2 parties chased and the other fled. It is uncertain how strong the demon corpse is, but the demonic energy on its body can kill people at any time. Li Zixiao naturally would not risk a meaningless confrontation with the demon corpse. Now Zhang Fanchen is the most terrifying time, so he naturally has to avoid its edge. Want to escape? I want to see where you can escape to. Zhang Fanchen was so bold that he landed directly on the demon corpse and let the demon corpse chase him. Although the demon corpse's body was huge, it was still very fast. Under Zhang Fanchen's command, the demon corpse stopped hurting other people, and the others quickly made way for him to catch up with Zhang Zizai faster. The demon corpse was like a storm, sweeping in madly, its demonic energy surging, and its huge body was so fast that everyone saw that if it continued like this, Zhang Zizai would be caught up. The situation was quite critical. There seemed to be no other way except to escape. Zhang Zizai also had a headache. It seemed that Zhang Fanchen had comprehended the first demon tomb and indeed got a very difficult advantage. After controlling the demon corpse, he had completely become the king here. After dealing with Zhang Zizai, he would definitely attack others. Looking back, Li Zixiao's face was still very serious. Although their speed was good after the 9 dragons battle formation, the demon corpse was still too fast and was about to be caught up. Split up and I will attract his attention. Sure enough, Li Zixiao chose a great way. I will do, Guye said hurriedly. The feelings between them were indeed very sincere, and everyone had the courage to sacrifice. Zhang Zizai was also thinking about how to crack it. Now the only way is actually to delay, but it is unlikely to delay without loss. Li Zixiao's scattered escape is actually the only way. There will definitely be deaths, but at least a few fewer deaths can be achieved. However, since the 9 people have gathered together, no one wants to see their brothers and sisters die tragically for them. Zhang Zizai gritted his teeth. He was in such a desperate situation. His murderous intention towards Zhang Fanchen had already swelled to the extreme. At this moment, they left the range of the ancient demon Tongtian tomb, crossed the Blood River, and arrived at the land on the side of the tomb of the servant. Before, almost everyone gathered at the ancient demon Tongtian tomb. After crossing the Blood River, Li Zixiao had already returned. He directly left the crowd and wanted to intercept alone. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 670. Brother, don't be like this, Duguye hurried back, and when they all stopped, he never left again. If we don't leave, it would be better to live an ignoble life together than to die vigorously together, Suemo said loudly. Stupid, Li Zixiao roared. But there was nothing he could do. None of his brothers and sisters had any intention of leaving. They would rather fight the demonic corpse, even though all 9 of them might die here. Li Zixiao was very moved, everyone's blood was surging, and Zhang Zizai was also infected by their emotions, but at this time the demon corpse was already crossing the blood river. Look, everyone, at this moment, something happened. When the demon corpse passed through the blood river, the water of the blood river suddenly rushed up and turned into countless tentacles, which were tied to the demon corpse's body. Roar! During the struggle, the demonic corpse tore apart these bloody liquid tentacles with terrifying force, but it also staggered several steps and even rolled on the ground several times. Let's go, Li Zixiao's eyes lit up. He was not going to sacrifice this time because they found that the demon corpse seemed to be hindered when it crossed the blood river. The tomb of the ancient demon Tongtian was very large, but the other demon tombs were very small, with rivers of blood everywhere. When the demon corpse just got up, they rushed towards the nearest blood river. Seeing that they were about to be overtaken by the demon corpse again, they successfully rushed into the blood river. When the demon corpse entered the blood river once again gave birth to countless tentacles that bound the demon corpse. Although it was able to tear it apart in the end, but Zhang Zizai and the others were able to distance themselves. The others were not very afraid of death, and almost all of them were chasing after the demon corpse at this time. They also saw this scene. The river of blood actually intercepts the demon corpse. In this case, it seems that the demon corpses can't catch up with them. People saw with their own eyes that Li Zixiao and the others kept going back and forth in the blood river, and even stayed on the blood river, causing the demon corpse to be restricted all the time. Are you going to run away like flies? Zhang Fanchen was a little angry. With such a good opportunity, he still couldn't capture them. Zhang Fanchen, you laughed too early. It won't be long before you bring it upon yourself. Li Zixiao didn't panic anymore. He controlled the rhythm and relied on the blood river to intercept the demonic corpses, so that the demonic corpses could not get close to them. Zhang Fanchen tried every possible means to no avail. The blood river would intercept the demon corpse, unless he could make the blood river clean, but this was even more impossible. Scare me, think I'm a 3-year-old child. You guys won't live long, Zhang Fanchen continued to sneer. He didn't believe that they had been consuming a high level like this and wanted to maintain the Kowloon battle formation when they were not tired. Where is it so easy? He was waiting for their tired day, and directly used the demon corpse to send them back to the west. Then, he took away what should be taken away. As you can imagine, he could control the whole situation next. It's important to get a head start. I am, Xiao Zhantian. At the same time, the demon corpse was still roaring. Zhang Zizai and the others kept dodging, and it was indeed dangerous. They almost let the demon corpse succeed several times. The whole process was thrilling, and the onlookers screamed in surprise several times. They had narrowly escaped death several times. The murderous intent of the 9 of them against Zhang Fanchen had already reached its peak. Death, Zhang Fanchen sneered, and let the demon corpse suppress him again. Under the palm of the demon corpse, the blood river rolled, and countless blood waves knocked them into the blood river, and they were thrown to pieces. In the end, these 9 people from the hidden dragon realm will still have to die, they sighed. They have no sympathy, after all, they are all competitors. However, at this critical moment of life and death, the world suddenly shook again. And this time, it shook a full 10 times. The strong vibration came from the direction of the tomb of the ancient demon Tongtian. When the shock came, Zhang Zizai's eyes lit up. Go back! Li Zixiao shouted. They saw hope. Naturally, they used all their strength and showed infinite power at this critical moment of life and death. The 9 people worked together and rushed into the blood river again, but this time they turned back. Death, just when Zhang Fanchen was about to succeed, he naturally pursued even more crazily. Wow! After crossing the Blood River and returning to the tomb of the ancient demon Tongtian, Zhang Zizai looked up and saw what he expected happened. At the location of the tomb of the ancient demon Tongtian, a total of 10 huge bronze coffins fell from the sky. The previous coffin, a total of 11 coffins have arrived. Boom! Continuous sounds spread, and in the midst of people's trembling eyes, 10 demon corpses of different shapes came out of the coffin. Each of the 10 demon corpses was similar to Xiao Zhantian. They were all equally terrifying and possessed the same demonic aura. When they saw so many totem warriors, their eyes immediately turned red. Without saying a word, they began to kill them. Zhang Zizai and the others came back here at this time. The 10-headed demonic corpses directly occupied their sight. It can be said that Li Zixiao has been waiting for this moment for a long time. He knew that, in sequence, when Xiao Zhantian's demon corpse appeared, the demon corpses of the 10 demon tombs in the second round would definitely appear, but he was not sure when. If it took too long, they would definitely be doomed. Fortunately, it didn't take too long, and they finally made it to this point. Because everyone else was chasing Zhang Zizai and the others, there were not many people left near the tomb of the ancient demon Tongtian at this time, but these people had also become the targets of the demon corpses. Each demon corpse is very scary. The reason why Li Zixiao was waiting for this chance of survival was because of the 10 demon tombs in the second round. 4 of the 9 of them got them. They occupied 4 of the 10 demon tombs. They were Li Zixiao, Zhang Zizai, Shen Xiao, and Ling Xian. They all had the black tripods obtained from the 4 demon tombs. When the demon corpse appeared, Zhang Zizai had seen that one of the black tripods in the space jade pendant was vibrating. At that time, Zhang Fanchen relied on this signal to control the demon corpse Xiao Zhantian. He wanted to control the demon corpse Dugyuwu. There were a total of 10 demon corpses, and his eyes locked onto Dugyuwu at the first time. The reason why he was so fast was that he had comprehended Dugyuwu's Tianyuan and could tell the feeling of him at a glance. Go! Li Zixiao also locked onto it. At this critical moment, the demon corpse Xiao Zhantian behind them had caught up, and the 9 of them quickly rushed towards those demon corpses. Zhang Zizai locked onto Dugyuwu. He used the earth escape technique to reach Dugyuwu's sight. Looking at the huge and powerful demon corpse, Zhang Zizai instantly took out a small black tripod. The black light from the small tripod shone on the demon corpse. When the demon corpse's eyes recovered from blood red, Zhang Zizai completely controlled the demon corpse Dugyuwu. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 671. This feeling is similar to controlling the source beast with the beast control talisman, and basically you can command the demon corpse to do anything. He instantly landed on the demon corpse Dugyuwu, and then looked around. Li Zixiao and the other 3 were very successful. In this short moment, they already had 4 demon corpses. At the same time, Zhang Fanchen's face was livid, and he controlled Xiao Zhantian to catch up. He encountered 4 demon corpses at once. At that moment, his face was completely pale. He turned around directly, took out a small black tripod in his hand again, locked one of the demon corpses, and then drove Xiao Zhantian to chase it directly. After Xiao Zhantian rushed up, he held down the demon corpse tightly, and Zhang Fanchen controlled a demon corpse again with the small black tripod. He now has 2 demon corpses. After all, he also comprehended one of the 10 demon tombs in the second round. Now it seems that comprehending the demon tomb is too important. With a weapon like the demon corpse, it can be swept away. When Zhang Fanchen quickly controlled the 2 demon corpses, another person also controlled a demon corpse and appeared beside him. That was the Holy Oracle Princess. She also comprehended a demon tomb in the second round. A 7-headed demon corpse confronted here. In addition to them, there were 4 demon corpses, which were obtained by Xuanhuan from the Sword Soul Totem world, Huangfukan from the Holy Demon Totem world, Haiyu from the Blue Sea Totem world, and Nantianyuan from the Phoenix Sky Totem world. The 4 of them are now returning here and are controlling the demon corpses like Zhang Zizai. In such a chaotic situation, controlling the demon corpses means almost controlling all the power of life and death. While the 4 of them were still trying to protect themselves, Li Zixiao knew that they had to fight quickly. He and Zhang Zizai looked at each other. 4-3, we have the advantage, we must get it done quickly, otherwise there will be more trouble. Don't waste time entangled with him, Li Zixiao said. Go, Zhang Zizai said nothing, and controlled the demon corpse Tugawu to rush towards Zhang Fanchen. Everyone was near the ancient demon Tongtian tomb, and the distance was still very close. Moreover, they were faster, and Zhang Fanchen had just mastered a new demon corpse at this time. He had just controlled 2 demon corpses to join Princess Shenjiao, and 4 demon corpses directly surrounded him. Zhang Fanchen was still a step slower. If it was 4 against 3, he should have escaped at this time, but he was probably still immersed in the state of self-centeredness just now. Shen Xiao took action directly, letting her demon corpse Ranhuang attack the demon corpse of Princess Shenjiao, and directly forced the demon corpse of Princess Shenjiao away. Lingxian and Zhang Zizai controlled the demon corpses Suifengqi and Tugawu, and rushed directly towards Zhang Fanchen, Xiao Zhantian and Disheng. The demon corpses were all full of demonic energy, and Zhang Zizai didn't know what the specific level differences were. He only knew that his Tugawu directly knocked Xiao Zhantian away, and Zhang Fanchen had to rush out from Xiao Zhantian. Zhang Zizai took the opportunity to let Tugawu entangle Xiao Zhantian tightly, and Tugawu did not disappoint him. He twisted with Xiao Zhantian directly, so that Xiao Zhantian, who had just killed all around, could only howl in anger. On the other side, Lingxuan's blood wind rising had also entangled Disheng, so that Disheng couldn't protect Zhang Fanchen. The demon corpses were fighting with the power of flesh and blood. Now looking at the 6 demon corpses entangled together, it can be seen that their strength should be about the same. However, Li Zixiao's Lingkong demon corpse was an existence that no one cared about at this time. When Zhang Fanchen was knocked away, Lingkong rushed up directly. Under Li Zixiao's order, the demon corpse Lingkong directly opened a huge palm and pinched Zhang Fanchen directly in his hand. Zhang Fanchen's life and death were directly controlled by Li Zixiao at this moment. Surrounded by demonic energy, Zhang Fanchen's face was pale. He didn't expect that he would be defeated so easily. The advantage of a demon corpse directly put him in a desperate situation. Looking at Li Zixiao's angry expression at this time, he knew that he was only a hair's breadth away from death. I'll give you the antidote, don't kill me. The previous hatred is wiped out, Zhang Fanchen said bitterly. He was really scared. Being held in the hand of the demon corpse, he now clearly felt the taste of death. Antidote? I'll kill you, and you can take it yourself, Li Zixiao said. If you dare to kill me, my father will definitely attack you Kang Long and make your entire world devastated, Zhang Fanchen gritted his teeth. Once the gate of the divine domain is closed, you can only stare blankly. However, you reminded me that since it has become like this, I will definitely not let you live at this point. Li Zixiao was already very decisive. With a thought, he asked Lingkong to pinch Zhang Fanchen to death. Xiao Chen, on the other side, the Holy Edict Princess gave up her demon corpse and rushed towards the side like crazy. She didn't expect that she was sure of victory just now, but suddenly the situation turned into this. Zhang Fanchen now had a pale face and trembling all over, and only had a tough mouth. Li Zixiao, you can't kill him. At this moment, a demon corpse descended. On the demon corpse stood a young man wearing a black and gold robe. He had a stern face and a firm tone. He was Huangfukan from the Holy Demon Totem world. Zhang Fanchen is not the mortal enemy of your world, but you actually helped him, Li Zixiao frowned. If he dies, who can control your hidden dragon realm? Do we have to let you control us? We understand the principle of lips and teeth being cold, Xuanhuan said. Yes, you can't kill him. On top of the other demon corpse stood a girl in blue. Her appearance was not inferior to that of the holy princess. She was famous in the world of Blue Sea Totem and was equally talented. Although Xuanhuan from the Sword Soul Totem world and Nan Tianyuan from the Fengtian Totem world did not speak, they clearly meant the same thing, because what they worried about was always the imbalance. Once the hidden dragon world was dominated by one family, what would happen next? It's troublesome. If you kill him, we may unite to deal with you, Xuanhuan said. He was still not sure what would happen to the two demon corpses he controlled if Zhang Fanchen died. If the Black Cauldron was taken away by Li Zixiao and the demon corpse was controlled by Li Zixiao, when Li Zixiao got the power to control the 6 demon corpses, he felt that they would all be finished. This is a normal thought. For a moment, they all suppressed them. When Zhang Fanchen saw this, he laughed very hard. Li Zixiao frowned. The determination of others was indeed very troublesome for him. He thought for a moment, raised his head and said, "To be honest, I am not murderous, but as you saw just now, all 9 of us were almost killed by him, and I just wanted to retaliate in the same way. Morally speaking, there is no problem for me to kill Zhang Fanchen, right?" "That's right. But we have to think about ourselves," Xuanhuan said. Li Zixiao nodded and said, "You have your own considerations. This is normal. I don't have to kill him or snatch his demon corpse, but since I control his life and death, I have to get it back from him. You have no objection to these 2 things that originally belonged to me. There are 2 more chapters at 2200 hours in the evening. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 672. After hearing what Li Zixiao said, they looked at each other and finally didn't say anything, which meant they agreed. They were not on Zhang Fanchen's side. On the contrary, some of them hated Zhang Fanchen very much. They stood up at this time just to prevent Li Zixiao and his team from being the only ones. After all, they had the 9 dragons battle formation, which was already difficult enough. "Besides the antidote for your eyes, what else do you want?" asked Nan Tianyuan from the Fengtian Totem world. Zhang Zizai comprehended a demon tomb called Tomb of the Lowly Servant, and he took away his achievements. Zhang Zizai recorded the process with a video symbol, and there were many people present who could testify. Li Zixiao said. "That's fine, return the property to its original owner," Nan Tianyuan said. They didn't say anything else. Li Zixiao stood on Lingkong, facing the now embarrassed Zhang Fanchen. His body was entangled by demonic energy, and it had been riddled with holes for a long time. If this continued, even if Li Zixiao didn't do anything, he might die. At least the serious injury to the body will take a long time to heal, and in the ancient demon tomb, he is not allowed to recuperate at all. You choose, whether to take out the things or let the demon corpse crush you to death. You can continue to think about it. I want to see how long you can last in this state," Li Zixiao said in a calm tone. He did not seem to be in a hurry at all. After that, he waited patiently. Zhang Fanchen gritted his teeth. He knew that he was lucky not to die this time. He knew the current physical condition best, and he knew that if he delayed, his loss would be greater. "Xiao Chen, give up first, keep the Green Mountains, don't be afraid of running out of firewood," Princess Shenjiao choked. Seeing her brother injured, she was so anxious that tears flowed, and she looked pitiful. In front of the demon corpse, it was useless to have a peerless talent. Zhang Fanchen's body was now almost dyed black by the demonic energy. "Okay," he gritted his teeth, his eyes were full of haze, and he looked at Li Zixiao and others with a very resentful look. "If you behave yourself earlier, you won't have to suffer so much," Zhang Zizai said with a smile. He had said long ago that he would definitely get back what he lost. Now that he could suppress Zhang Fanchen, He must have contributed to it. Zhang Fanchen looked at him. There was a fierce fire in their eyes. Zhang Zizai, everything is still early, don't be too happy too early, Zhang Fanchen said. What nonsense are you talking about? Look at your body now. Can you still stand up? Zhang Zizai laughed dumbly. Zhang Fanchen was depressed, but he had to admit that he was telling the truth. Trembling, he first took out a colorful bead from the space jade pendant and threw it to Li Zixiao. Li Zixiao crushed the bead and scattered the fragments into his eyes. After 3 breaths, he opened his eyes again. His eyes were very hot and shining, and seeing the light again finally made him smile. Karma, what you gave me that day, I finally return it to you today. However, there should be a lot to return to you next. Li Zixiao felt much better. He stared at Zhang Fanchen, not intending to let him go for the time being, and the demon corpse did not move. Take it out. Zhang Zizai appeared in front of him, smiling, and stretched out his hand to Zhang Fanchen. It was really nice to let him spit out what he had taken away, especially when he saw the other party's aggrieved expression, like constipation. Xiao Chen, give it to this villain, Princess Shenjiao said anxiously. Princess, those who steal other people's things are villains. You don't understand this principle, and you are not a clean person, Zhang Zizai said. You, Princess Shenjiao was so angry that her teeth itched, but she couldn't do anything to Zhang Zizai. Without anyone saying anything, Zhang Fanchen couldn't hold on any longer. He growled, and even though he was very unwilling, he still took out the God Slayer first. Zhang Zizai took it directly, and played with it in front of him for a while, saying, good stuff, really good, fortunately I didn't follow you, a piece of trash. Remember what you said, this is the source of your future pain, Zhang Fanchen said, and took out the red little tripod and the huge broken map. These 2 things attracted everyone's attention. Huang Fukan and the others didn't know that the treasures in the tomb of a lowly servant were actually the same as the tomb of the ancient demon Tong Tian. But when they were alert, there was no way, because Zhang Zizai had already picked it up. Moreover, this was a treasure that Zhang Zizai had comprehended himself. Speaking of it, others really couldn't do anything. The only thing that made them feel a little relieved was that Zhang Zizai's realm was relatively low, and it was difficult for him to pose any threat to them for the time being. But then, everyone realized that it might be more troublesome. Can we let him go? Princess Shenjiao said sternly. I have returned the things, but since they have been stored here for such a long time, I have to ask for some interest to justify it. Zhang Fanchen, I want the sword you got from the tomb of the ancient demon Xiao Zhantian. Zhang Zizai put away the treasure and suddenly said when Li Zixiao was about to let him go. You went back on your word, Zhang Fanchen was angry. Interest. Zhang Zizai spread his hands and stared at him sharply. Seeing this, Li Zixiao slowed down a little and did not let him go immediately. To be honest, compared with the 3 treasures just now, the things obtained from the ancient demon Xiao Zhantian are insignificant. Everyone else is thinking about the 3 things just now. Well, I'll keep it for you first, Zhang Fanchen smiled. He really didn't have time to waste with Zhang Zizai, but he had his own ideas. Anyway, he was unwilling to give up after returning those things to Zhang Zizai. He would take them back sooner or later, and it didn't matter if he had a sword that was temporarily useless. He asked him to take out the incomplete god-killing and threw it to Zhang Zizai. Zhang Zizai took the opportunity and left with the sword. Since then, the god-slaying, god-killing, and 2 incomplete god-killing have been obtained. At the same time, there are 2 small red tripods and 2 huge incomplete maps that no one else has. The things in his hands can be said to make many people jealous. After finishing, he retreated directly to the demon corpse Guduwu, which is the safest place, and Li Zixiao simply let go of the half-dead Zhang Fanchen. The 4 of them controlled the demon corpse to retreat and no longer confronted Zhang Fanchen head-on. Of course, the hatred this time was already more than a little bit. Zhang Zizai had a rich harvest, and everyone gathered together to discuss what to do next. If my estimate is correct, all the demon corpses may appear next, and there may be hundreds of them. It is very likely that there will be a Tongtian. No matter what, Zhang Zizai, you must control this Tongtian first. Then no matter what happens next, we can take the initiative. No problem. Zhang Zizai also thought so. After all, he was the only one who had the red tripod. As for Shen Xiao and Ling Xian, there may be 10 demon corpses in total by then. If there is a demon corpse war, their lineup is terrifyingly strong. Just after they finished speaking, the sky began to shake.